Good evening, and please remain standing for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner performed by our senior choir. You may be seated. Welcome to our graduation ceremony as we celebrate the class of 2019. It is my honor to welcome and thank parents, guardians, family, and friends this evening. My name is Carl Pabone, proud principal of our graduating Blue Devils. This time I would like to acknowledge our superintendent, Mrs. Lisa Wiles, board president, Mr. Phil Matrician, board vice president, Ms. Iris Freeman, trustee, Mr. Willie Bruce, trustee, Mr. John Burns, trustee, Mrs. Lisa Ramirez, trustee, Reverend Julius Collins, trustee, Mrs. Jody Little, trustee, Ms. Geneva May, and trustee, Mr. Wayne Story. Let's give them a round of applause. Also joining us on stage, we have Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Angela Urbina Medina, Assistant Superintendent of Business, Mr. Vince Napoli, Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics, Mr. Kermit Moyer, Director of Special Education, Mrs. Tricia Foglia Edwards, Middle School Principal, Mr. Andre Spinelli, Elementary Principal, Mrs. Nicole I, Elementary Assistant Principal, Mrs. Jessica Matarazza, last but not least, Mrs. Kelly White, High School Assistant Principal. You know, our clerical do so much of the work behind the scenes so that events that honor and recognize our students, such as this, takes place. This evening is no different. We want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank Mrs. Sharon Lamondola, Mrs. Dawn Pike, Mrs. Kim Orr, and Mrs. Maria Smith. Thank you for all your work. Also, additionally, a special thanks to our buildings and grounds, custodial and security staff for their work as well. Thank you so much for your hard work. A special recognition to our guidance counselors, Mrs. Judy Auerbach and Mrs. Tanya Allen, who have taken this journey of 4 years with your students and child. Thank you as well. Now, these next two individuals have spent countless hours to make your child's 4 years a memorable one. Whether it was selling hot dogs and potato chips and healthy Gatorade at the concession stand, decorating for the school dance, organizing the senior trip, dancing at the prom, taking the school bus, the yellow school bus, to the graduation rehearsal. They've done it all. I would like to acknowledge and thank Ms. Liz Pidell and Ms. Kate Eckert, class of 2019 advisors as well. And it is moments like these that remind us of the collaborative effort needed in this journey for our students to reach this point in their young lives. At this time, I would like all the faculty and staff members who are present this evening to please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, it is my honor and pleasure to present Benjamin Pidell with the salutatory address. Ben.
Hello. I would like to thank everyone for coming to the graduation of the class of 2019. It really is amazing to see all the support our class is receiving tonight. Equally important is the support from our teachers, administrators, and staff. Their impact on our lives could never be understated. The reason all of us are sitting here today is because of these people. They all showed us what a community was, how important it is in our lives, and how necessary it is to thrive. It is a community that truly wants the best for the people and the students in it. A community that comes to concerts, musicals, basketball games, football games, soccer games, softball games, and any other event that our students participate in. A community that extends to the teachers, coaches, and advisors who helped us find what we are passionate about. A community filled with some of the best teachers we could ever ask for. Teachers who not only taught us math, English, science, and history, but about life and how to be a good, responsible person. But most important, a community filled with our class. A community filled with kids who loved it, were proud of it, and who weren't afraid to show it. Who cared, even if we couldn't always use that pride to our advantage. I'm talking to the boys seniors in junior senior day. The only event we could win as a group was the tug of war, and I think that might have had something to do with Ray Ball. One of the biggest moments that showed me how much this community cares is when our boys basketball team made it to the regionals in the Class B state tournament. There were rumors that the Dobbs Ferry fans were very loud and supportive. Our fans needed to step it up to show support. Well, when we arrived, there were supposed to be 2 bleachers for Ellenville and two for Dobbs Ferry. But Ellenville was filled to capacity and even used some of the bleachers in the Dobbs Ferry section. The amount of support our basketball team received from students, teachers, and even members of the community who hadn't gone to school in a long time was amazing to witness. It showed me how much Ellenville cared about its teams, its students, and its community, no matter what. That is what makes Ellenville so special. I like to think our class had a lot to do with that. Almost every person who is graduating here today has either been on a sports team, participated in a musical, or has been in band or chorus. And if they haven't been directly involved in any of those things, they were definitely there helping and supporting those classmates who did participate. That is something that might not be the case at a bigger school or a bigger town, but it is definitely true at Ellenville. Many of our classmates were only motivated to participate in those activities because of the support they had from their families. Not everyone's definition of family is the same. For some, it's their parents and grandparents. For others, it's an uncle and aunt. And for others, it's their close friends. But one thing that is the same is the support that your family provides. I know that my family is a major reason that I'm here. And it is a big reason all of us are here. This class is one that I'm so proud to be part of. We didn't all have the same childhoods or the same friends, but we all had this school. And after all, that is what got us where we are today and has helped us get to where we want to go. I want us to remember this school for all the memories we've had, all the lessons we learned, both in the classroom and outside of it, and for all the people that helped us get here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. At this time, we have a performance by our symphonic band with a rendition of America the Beautiful. Thank you very much. At this time, let's welcome the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Phil Matrician.
Good evening. Good evening, Superintendent Wiles, Deputy Superintendent Ms. Angela Urbina Medina, Assistant Superintendent Vince Napoli, fellow Board of Education members, respected members of the dais, teachers, staff, family, and friends. I would like to thank and recognize the staff members and class advisors for their hard work behind the scenes to making this event so special this evening. I would also like to thank the building and grounds crew for their hard work, not only today, but every day for all of our events. Now, let's hear it for them. Now, I saved this one especially. Now I would like to give a big welcome and round of applause to the captains of this high school ship that brought your children safely into this dock this evening. Let's welcome your principals, Carl Pabon and Mrs. Kelly White. Stand up. Be recognized. Be recognized. If I could have all the graduates please stand and face the bleachers. All the graduates. I want you to give all of your family, friends, supporters who'd help you get here today a great big round of applause. Let them know you love and appreciate them for all they've done for you. Thank you. Be seated. To the graduates, there are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way. The older fish nods at them and says, "Good morning, boys. How's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit. They eventually stop. Bewildered, they look at each other. And one of the fish says to the other, "Did he just ask us how's the water?" And the other fish says, "Yes, he did." Both young fish stare at each other for a moment, and then they both say to each other, "What the heck is water?" And then they swim away. The message here is that we often forget or take for granted the most obvious things around us. It is difficult to stay aware of what's happening in the world, especially when we're too busy dealing with the monologue inside of our heads. That is what obtaining an education and your future success is all about. It's about learning how to think, exercising some degree of control over your thoughts so that you can choose what to pay attention to. Our thoughts affect our realities, and the ability to choose how you construct meaning from experience will determine the lenses from which you see the world and how you react in return. Listen to me, all of you. You are going to fall down at some point in your lives. But you know what? The world doesn't care how many times you fall down, as long as it's one fewer time than the number of times you get back up. It's not going to matter to anyone that your dreams come true if you spent your whole life sleeping. Nothing in life is going to be handed to you without some sort of sacrifice on your part. So when you leave here tonight, don't waste any time sleeping. Get out there and make your dreams come true. It is great that you want to plan for the future. Just don't get caught waiting for the future, because nothing ever happens in the future. Whatever happens, happens in the present, the here and now. It was former President Barack Obama who once said that, "Now as a nation we don't promise equal outcomes, but we were founded on the idea that everybody should have an equal opportunity to succeed. No matter who you are, what you look like, where you come from, you can make it." That's the essential promise of America. Where you start should not determine where you end up. His words could not be more true than here tonight. You have proven that where you started does not determine where you end up, because if it did, we wouldn't be here this evening. A little story, and a rural farmer was tending to his horse named Buddy, and along came a stranger who desperately needed the farmer's help getting his car out of a ditch. The farmer said he would come and bring his horse to help him. The farmer hitched his horse named Buddy to the car and then said loudly, "Pull, Casey, pull." The horse would not budge. He then said, "Pull, Mandy, pull." The horse still would not budge. He then said, "Pull, Buddy, pull." And the horse pulled the car out of the ditch. The stranger was very thankful, but he asked the farmer why he had called the horse so many different names. The farmer told the stranger that Buddy was blind, and I had to make him think that he had a bunch of other horses helping him get the car out of the ditch, or he would have not pulled it out. The lesson here is, do not wait on others in order to accomplish your goals in life. Seize opportunity, as it may not come back your way, or not. If not, you will always be stuck in that ditch. As you leave here tonight, knowing that, there is nothing more beautiful than finding the course you believe in. While at times you may bob around aimlessly in the current, you will know that your opportunity was there all along, waiting for you to knock, waiting for you to become. This destiny does not belong to your parents, to your teachers, to your leaders, or to your family. Your destiny is your character, defining itself more and more every day like a photograph in the focus. So as you leave here tonight, go forward. Take as many photographs that this life will allow you to be part of. You have endless opportunities in this world, and this world is there waiting for you to explore it. And don't ever think that you are too small to be effective, because if you do, I want you to go to bed with a mosquito. You'll find out just how effective being small really is. On behalf of the members of the Board of Education, I would like to thank all of you for teaching all of us that nothing is impossible. Believe in anything, and it can be done. Good luck to the class of 2019. Congratulations, and Godspeed to you all.
Thank you, Mr. Matrician. It is my honor at this time to welcome Roman Hronovitz with the valedictory address. Roman.
This is really crazy. I never thought I'd be standing here, but I'd like to thank everyone for coming. My family, who supported me every day of my life. My friends, because without you guys, I probably wouldn't even shown up to school every day like I did. Our wonderful administration, because Without them, nothing would get done. And the teachers, even the ones who don't know how I'm standing up here today presenting this speech, because frankly, I myself don't know. I'm still looking around. I don't know which one of you guys let me stand up here right now. And like as mentioned before, the people who don't get as much credit, usually the janitors, security, and groundskeepers, because they do a lot of things behind the scenes. So thank you for keeping the school running. We have such an amazing faculty here, and I can't imagine being anywhere but Ellenville. And like how Ben said, I think there's a type of nationalism here in Ellenville, and we all love each other a lot. I know many of us, including myself, are probably counting down the days every year just wishing school would finally end. And while I'm sure many of you are still glad that we're here today, there are, of course, those who are sad this has come to an end. I remember in 5th grade, Mr. O'Donnell told our class that a couple of kids could go up to the studio in high school and be on the radio. I thought that was super cool, so I asked him if I could go, and he let me. We got to play a song of our choice, and I was just really stoked to be in high school. You know, I was in 5th grade. All the high schoolers were like up here. I was down there. But then they were also asking us questions, and it got to me, and it was, what you think about school? And I told them, I think school is boring. My favorite class is study hall. And I didn't think anything about it while I was down there, but then I got back to the classroom, and Mr. O'Donnell, you know, he pulled me aside. He was like, Roman, what are you doing? You can't be saying stuff like that. I let you go up there, and that's what you tell them. You know, but my study hall teacher, she was really proud of me. But as I reflect upon that today, I realized I was right. No, but seriously, high school is once in a lifetime experience, and I think I really appreciate it, and I think we should all appreciate it because it is once in a lifetime and it's unforgettable. I cherish my memories here in Ellenville dearly, and I honestly, if I didn't have to grow up, I probably wouldn't, and I'm sure a lot of the adults here agree with me on that. So I never really seen myself as a role model or someone people should be looking at for an example, but you know, I guess I'm here, I'm supposed to enlighten you guys and give you some advice on life. So a lot of people like to draw inspiration from, you know, famous people, whether it's actors or movie stars. That's the same thing. But I get a lot of my inspiration from fictional TV characters and from cartoons. So one of my favorites is Attack on Titan, and one of the recent episodes, there was a flashback to where the main character Eren met his friend Armin, and Armin was being tormented by bullies. And when the kids attacking him left, Eren turned around the corner and he asked Armin why he was so okay with losing all the time. And Armin's response was, I didn't lose because I didn't run. And life is undoubtedly difficult and it's constantly throwing challenges at us. But we have to face them. It really sucks, but running away from our problems gets us nowhere. That's why BMO from Adventure Time says, sometimes life is scary and dark. That is why we must find the light. I sometimes picture this image in my head where it starts off with me and it just keeps expanding to everything around me. And then like from Ellenville to entire Ulster County, it's just everyone there doing what they're doing. And it's really crazy for me to imagine that every action in this world is concurrent. And they were just a microscopic piece of the puzzle that is the 7+ billion people on this earth. But in Adventure Time, Finn puts on glasses that make him super smart or something. And he says everything small is just a smaller version of something big. So even though we are just one person, anything we do can amount to something great. But we can't expect success to be handed to us. Patience is so important, yet we want everything now. And when life moves so quickly, it may be hard to remain patient. But the saying goes, everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. And now we are all leaving and going off on our own journeys. The possibilities are endless, and it's all right to have a fear of not knowing what comes next. Although it's great to look back and miss the past, ultimately we must move forward. I find it kind of funny how serious of a quote you can get from a children's movie. I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. Quote, Mewtwo. I definitely didn't pick that up while I was watching that on VHS in like 2005, but I think it's a really great quote. And it doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made on the way here, as long as you continue to persevere. Everything that you've done in high school, it may be great, but you have a whole life ahead of you. So, in the words of N, make your wonderful dream a reality. It will become your truth. If anyone can, it's you. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. At this time, let's welcome Megan Ryan, class of 2019, Vice President. Megan?
Sorry, my speech is on my phone. Thank you, teachers, faculty, staff, friends, and family for being here today and sharing this special moment with us today. Wow, y'all. It's honestly insane that we are graduating today. I can't believe it's over. Senioritis was kicking in this year. Honestly, though, what I really love about this class is that everybody's cool with everybody. Like, especially since we do have our own friends, but, like, there's no bad vibes. Like, everyone is just really cool with each other, and I really appreciate that. In middle school, I would imagine what graduation would be like. I thought it was so far away from today, but being here now, it's absolutely surreal. I'd have to say, middle school, though, was one of the cringiest experiences of my life. I look back at some of the old photos of us in the yearbooks, and I cannot believe our mothers would let us out of the house with the stuff we would wear. Even though middle school was such a cringy experience. Thanks, Bon Bon. He just texted me. Even middle school was such a cringy experience. I'm happy that I still have the same core group of friends that I still have today. I'm sure most of you guys can relate to that as well. High school, all in all, has had its ups and downs, but I'm really excited to have shared my high school experience with all of you guys. I'm very thankful to some of the teachers here today and the bonds that I have with them and the memories that I've shared with them. Mr. Espinosa, I'd like to publicly apologize for me, Mary, Jason, John, Tim, and Maya for disrupting your class on multiple occasions and not doing as best as you wanted us to. We did pass, yeah. But guys, I believe that all of you here are going to do something great with your lives. But in order to do something great, you have to believe in yourself. I know that sounds really cheesy. You need to do what makes you happy, and most importantly, secure the bag, make that money. High school has been a wild ride, but I'm glad I got to do this with all of you guys. This is not a goodbye, it's I'll see you soon. It's been great, guys. We actually did it. Catch you on the flippity flip.
Thank you, Megan. At this time, we now have a reflection from our superintendent, Mrs. Lisa Wiles.
I know this always has to come in. So, good evening, Mr. Matrician, the Board of Education, Mr. Pabone, Mrs. White, the administrators, staff, parents, family members, but most especially the class of 2019. I'd like to begin by thanking and recognizing all the great teachers and staff members who come to work every day to do some of the world's most important work, that have made a difference in the lives of each of the graduates here this evening. We have witnessed the dedication and commitment that you bring to all of our students every day. Each one of you are truly appreciated by all of us. Most importantly, the graduates, both past and present. So I'm going to ask you again to stand up for a round of applause, because without you, these graduates do not sit here this evening. I would also like to recognize and extend a heartfelt thank you to our parents, grandparents, guardians, family members, and invaluable friends who've supported the graduates throughout their lives. I've often said that there are two great gifts that we can give our children. One is roots and the other's wings. Your guidance over the last 18 years has been the most significant contribution to their success. You've ensured that our graduates have developed strong roots and wings so that they're prepared to continue the journey that lies before them. Graduates, your journey began in 2001, the year that most of you were born. Many of us will never forget how life changed that September. It was a time of great uncertainty and fear about what was in store for all of us in the years to come. How would we move forward in the face of such adversity? What was ahead for us, and especially what was ahead for our children? Fast forward 18 years, and a lot has happened along the journey that we have all been on since then. There's been much success and some failure, and even unexpected heart-wrenching loss. But what stands out for me when I look at these students is their perseverance and grit. These two qualities were present and showcased in your musical and drama performances, academic achievements, athletic competitions, and championships which mobilized our community. Over the past 4 years, I'm sure you've counted down the days to prom and class trips and looked up to the ridge and waited for your turn to paint the rock. You joined clubs, played sports, discovered new interests. You have faced many challenges and made us very proud. In the classroom, the studio, on the track, field, basketball court, and on the stage. Academically, your accomplishments have given you many options. Many of you will attend college and are headed to our local community colleges located in Ulster, Sullivan, and Orange counties. Hunter College, University of Buffalo, Virginia Tech, SUNY Cortland, the College of St. Rose, Mount St. Mary College, SUNY College of Environmental Science, and Forestry, to name a few. Some of you will immediately begin your careers, and others will serve our country proudly in our military. A big shout out to all of our students who attended and excelled in the Ulster and Sullivan County Career Tech programs, which have given you all a strong foundation and head start in your careers. Each year, the graduating class is given a book, chosen to provide encouragement, inspiration, and examples of life lessons to draw upon. The book chosen for the class of 2019 takes us back to our childhood days on Sesame Street and the journey we took with the lovable characters who resided there. The book, called Love the Fur You're In, Monster Wit and Wisdom from Sesame Street, provides a collection of lessons that convey the importance of friendship, family, and advice for being true to oneself. So before us this evening sit students who are ready to continue their journey, a journey that will no doubt have many more accomplishments and challenges, not unlike the journey of a young woman whose whole life was changed by a fierce storm that destroyed her home and separated her from her family. In the face of adversity and uncertainty, she had no choice but to push on and find her way back. Along the way, she was joined by others on journeys of their own, and together they ran into many obstacles and challenges. They were even harassed by a wicked witch and flying monkeys who purposely tried to disrupt their journey and make them miserable. It was a difficult journey for Dorothy, a Tin Man, a lion, and a scarecrow, but they learned many invaluable lessons along the way, lessons that we can carry with us. Never give up. When the going gets tough, stick to your yellow brick road and you'll overcome your obstacles. Good friends are found in the most unlikeliest places. Never stop dreaming. Dorothy's trip to Oz was difficult, but she still found a place over the rainbow. After singing about a magical land, she found it, and that means you should never stop dreaming about yours. You can accomplish anything. The scarecrow wanted a brain, the Tin Man wanted a heart, and the lion longed to be brave. Even though they thought they had to ask the wizard to grant their wishes, they found those traits inside themselves. Real courage is facing your fears. The lion best represented this when he put aside his own fears to help his friends. So remember, there's no place like home wherever that may be. And you don't need emerald cities or ruby slippers. And your Ellenville community, which I heard a lot about this evening, will always, always be here for you. And finally, just like the characters we've grown to love on Sesame Street or The Wizard of Oz, it's more than okay to be different. And always, always love the fur that you're in. So this evening, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite passages, an old Irish blessing. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May good and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. And may all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours. Very, very special, warm wishes of love and happiness, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
The end is near. Just wanted to share a few words with the special class. I want to thank you all for being just special young folks. You guys are a special group. We're going to miss you. We're wishing you the best. Just wanted to share a few words with you about change. Change is one thing that's inevitable. So there's a strong possibility that the hairstyle, the clothes you're wearing that you think is cool today, 10 years from now, may not seem so cool. Perhaps you are leaving today sure of what you want to do or become, and there's a probability that it may turn out that way. And there's also a good chance and likelihood that it may not. One thing I will encourage you to do is pursue your passions, stay focused on those passions, and try new things. So with that in mind, it's imperative to know that the things you have learned may come up handy somewhere down the road, whether it was in elementary school, middle, or high school. It may become useful 5, 10, or 20 years from now, perhaps when you least expect it. So there's this book I'm reading. It's called Range. I've been sharing it with folks, and it's written by David Epstein. In it, there's a story about Michael Crichton, and he shared something. He wanted to become a doctor, so he goes to Harvard Medical School, and he becomes a medical doctor. He stated, you know, this is a good field. I'm going to help people, so he said this was worthwhile the effort. However, after a few years, he became disenchanted with the medical field and the medical practice. Though he graduated from Harvard Medical School, he changed his mind and decided to become a writer. You probably don't know this guy, but perhaps you're saying, man, he wasted all those years. However, he used those experiences just like the journey you've had in your young life, and he took that information he learned in medical school, and it wasn't wasted. And he used it to craft probably one of the most popular stories in the world. You may have heard of it, Jurassic Park, or possibly you saw some of the TV shows he wrote, like ER. Again, he used what he learned in his journey, and for that show ER, there was 124 Emmy nominations. So change happens. Pursue it, pursue your passion, and seize the moment. So as you continue to grow, know and understand yourself better, it's important to realize that change is going to happen, and the knowledge, skills, and experiences you obtain throughout your life can be useful and not wasted when the next change in your life occurs. And since I'm talking about change at this time, how many of the class of 2019 are ready to change from high school Blue Devil status to Blue Devil graduates? Can I just get a show of hand? Are you ready for that change? With that sign, that optics there, let's begin the presentation of diplomas. And if you're ready for that, can I get a, oh yeah? All right, let's begin the presentation of diplomas at this time. Thank you guys, you are wonderful.
Roman Harinovitz.
Benjamin Patel.
Haley Dams. Megan Eckert.
Tyler Ferenthiel.
Catherine Flores.
Elena Garrett.
Kyle Guinea.
Joshua Jacobs.
Julia Ligatino.
Vanelise Malave.
Isabella Ramirez.
Robert Ramming.
Thank you. Cassandra Reyes.
Bianca Sabara.
Colleen Stevens.
Marissa Story.
Mia Ungerseth. Go, Mia.
Irma Lee Williams.
You can say the next one.
You want me to do it? Michael Ayanovich.
Cora Aragon.
Sarah Avery.
Raymond Ball.
Kiana Barrett.
Maya Bennett.
McKelty Benson.
Ryan Bilyeu.
Alexis Bengel Van Dunk.
Nicholas Bracker.
Naya Briscoe.
Conrad Brissett.
Deontay Bruce.
Samaj Bruce.
Natalia Bustos.
Lelania Cagnard.
William Calderon Castro.
Regina Chander.
Nija Christofora.
Garrett Connor.
Brandon Conrad.
Joshua Cortez.
Madison Corvinus.
Brian De Silva.
Jarrell Davis.
Andrew Dawson.
Donovan Decker.
Ariel de Groot.
Seth Delgado.
Tafari Darrell.
Savan DiConcilio.
Justina Duckett Lasanta.
Jeremiah Figueroa.
Daniel Gore.
Hadassah Graham.
Gregory Guzman.
Lauren Hamilton. Got it?
Zeba Hawk.
Brittany Heath.
Lucas Kogut.
Alexander Kowalczyk.
Alina Lewis.
Samantha Lingle.
Jason Lonstein.
Michael Lopez.
Mary Manalfi.
Jonathan McCombs.
Kira McGriff.
Elijah McLean. New shoes.
Allure McQueen.
Ty Morales.
Tessa Morris.
Roshan Nettle.
Jonathan Oquindo.
Edward Oshinsky.
Natalie Parada.
Riddhi Patel.
China Payne.
Corey Pizarro.
Timothy Placide.
Caleb Quick.
Sean Reed.
Nicholas Rakook.
Ashlyn Rivera.
Donovan Robinson.
Jason Rodriguez.
Lauren Rodriguez.
Megan Rodriguez.
Megan Ryan.
Ryan Sarantopoulos.
Michael Shorter James.
Danielle Stewart.
Nolly Stewart.
Christian Steinhardt.
Christina Torres.
John Ungerseth.
Andrew Valencia.
Martai Vanderveer.
Christian Villanueva.
Anthony Walton.
Daniel Wickman.
Elijah Williams.
Cassidy Winnie.
Sydney Younger.
Vlad Vasnitsky.
Shayla Sharman.
Can I have the class of 2019 please stand up? By the power vested in me by the Commissioner of Education in New York, I am proud to pronounce you graduates. Move your tassels to the left side of the graduation cap. Congratulations, class of 2019! Woo!
messed up, brother.